Right, so the writer of source B, so we always want to make sure that we're referring to that particular.
What does the question say?
Describe the customer's experience at the supermarket. So how does the writer use language to describe the customer's experience at the supermarket? Now what we've done is in our plan here, in our annotations, we've come up with a plan about how to explain it, but we've not really brought in the question. I'll show you how to do that because I think there's an easy link, an easy way to doing that. So the writer of source B highlights that the customer is, should we say like a regular customer? She seems like a regular customer, doesn't she? Is a regular visitor of the shop as she engages in chit-chat, I'm going to put that in a quote, with Mrs. Jones, the shopkeeper. Okay, so we've made this point about her being a regular visitor. Now what I want us to do is to think about how we, shoehorn in this idea of stereotypes. So both women are presented as stereotypical how can we put that? Stereotypical, not women, stereotypical what?
Members of society.
Yeah, good. Through the way that they are described to chat. I'm going to put the S in a bracket because I've taken it out of the quotation to fit my sentence. Casually together. And that Mrs. Jones is something of a gossip. Okay, so we've got a few quotations there. Do apologise. Let me just take this so I can read the plan. Alright, so now what I want to do is get my language techniques in there. It's not about, and I know you may have been taught this in the past, and that might be a Key Stage 3 mentality, if you like, that you need a technique that's, the simile here represents, or the metaphor here. You don't need that. It's not about that language technique. Absolute bonus, if you can. What it's about is explaining how a reader might interpret what's presented in the language. Okay, so it's more important to get what the writer's purpose was and how the reader would respond to it. Okay, so that's something we need to be thinking of. And do absolutely, if you know that there's a technique there or a key word and you can say that it's an adjective, absolutely do so. But if you're not able to explain an adjective, or you're not able to explain the use of a simile, then it's pointless. You're just doing it for the sake of it. Okay, so So that both women are presented as stereotypical members of society through the way that they are described to chat casually together, and that Mrs. Jones is something of a gossip. Okay, so what does this show? Think about 1961. What's it show? Women in 1961, what?
I'm more confident.
Okay, good. More confident and have more freedom to engage in gossip than ever before. Right, what else can we add to that?
We can talk about the classes. So like how the woman speaks to the shopkeeper as if she's above her.
So now if we bring in some more evidence, do we not need to do anything else with the evidence that we've got? Just hold that thought, Harvey, because we'll bring that in a minute. But I don't want to move on just yet because we've not got a full explanation of what we've said here. We need to make sure that's clear, that we've got some sort of statement. Remember question 2, you're inferring. Antonio.
Could you think into how there's like a large semantic field of casualty and informality?
Okay, so by using an informal register to describe how these women chat and gossip, shows, what does it show, Antonio?
The casual atmosphere of a
Look at the question.
1960 show. What was the question?
At the top of the page there, look.
Oh, the casual experience of the supermarket.
Yeah, good. Okay, so by using an informal register to describe how these women chat and gossip, amongst one another. I've just crossed that out. Apologies. Shows the casual experience that the customer has within the supermarket. Okay? I want us to get, now I don't want us to specifically use this as a bolt-on. The reader reacts this way. How can I engage with a reaction as a feature article in a woman's magazine? Should we put that in there? I might try and think about engaging with an audience by using that genre. So if I was to say, so let's see how we do this. So we've got casual experience that the customer has within the supermarket. From an audience perspective, from an audience of the time, one might expect that their reaction to the portrayal of this experience is... Okay, so let's have a look at that. From an audience of the time, one might expect that their reaction to the portrayal of this experience is what? So how are an audience going to react to how the women are portrayed here? Huh? All right, so they might actually be quite positive about it, because that's a representation of everyday women in society, yeah? So let's use that, and then I want us to get an alternative. All right, so be thinking about that. Is a positive and entertaining one. As both women hang on a second, I can't remember what I was saying now. From an audience of the time, one might expect their reaction to the portrayal of this experience as a positive and entertaining one, as both women are shown to be carrying out their everyday duties much like the women of society, of all women society at the time. Right, well, we haven't finished yet, so alternatively I'll get that in there. We're going to have to pause with this because on Thursday I need to do some writing with you, and then on Friday you're going to do a piece of writing for me. It'll be a 45-minute. You'll have 10 minutes to plan, 45 minutes writing, and then I'll get it marked as soon as, and then we can, at least we've got a piece of data, then I can go on your first piece of data. Don't be nervous. I reserve judgment. Except of Bradley. Okay, so we're almost there with 3. Let's stop recording.